So again, let me welcome you to the Rustic Mechanicals Apprentice Troupe's 2020 Sonnet Tea. I'm very grateful that you guys decided to spend some time with us on this Sunday afternoon, and I am very excited for you to meet the cohort of new apprentices that we have here in our Shakespeare troupe. My name is Jason Young. I am the artistic director of the Rustic Mechanicals, and that also gives me the awesome honor of being the director of the apprentice troupe. What we're going to do here today is we're going to meet all of our apprentices individually, and they have been asked to do some introductions about themselves. They have been asked to share with us what type of tea they have decided to bring with them to their sonnet tea, and then they have all been given a sonnet to share. Our apprentice troupe is made up of three-month sessions. Sorry, I'm letting folks in. Our apprentice troupe program is made up of three-month sessions. There's a fall session, a winter session, and a spring session. And we are basically coming to the conclusion of our fall session. And I wanted to, this year, something new for our apprentice troupe is to have some sort of a performance or some sort of a presentation at the end of each session. And so in this fall session, we've been doing individual work all over Zoom. And we started by working on a Shakespeare sonnet, what I call our birthday sonnet, as a way to for the new people to have some more experience with Shakespeare's language and analyzing text, and for those of us who are veterans to just reground ourselves in how we analyze and prepare Shakespeare's text. And we've since moved on to monologue work, and then in the winter, we're going to start rehearsing, still staying on Zoom, for our eventual production of Hamlet that is coming at the end of the year. Sorry, I'm fielding a thing. I'm not sure why you can't. Can everybody hear me? Can you put a thumbs up if you can hear me? Good. Okay, cool. So I'm not sure, Lee, why you are unable to hear me. It may be something on your end and not mine, because I think everybody else can hear. So today, again, we're going to give you the opportunity to meet each one of our apprentices. We only have 7 this year, which is the smallest class that we've ever had, which I think is to be expected because so many uncertainties surrounding the current pandemic that we're in. But we have 7 extremely dedicated and extremely talented students, and I'm excited for you to meet them. Once they have had the chance to introduce themselves and share their sonnets with you, you're then going to have a chance, if you want, to share your own sonnet, and you are welcome to do that or talk about a sonnet that you've heard. Any of those would be fine. As a reminder, before we get started, the best way to view this event today is to view it in speaker view and not gallery view. And if you wouldn't mind just keeping yourself muted so that only the speaker who is speaking is the person who has the large screen. I think that would be the very best. Now, I will share with you, I am drinking just a standard black tea today, but it does have a nice dose of West Virginia honey in it, and it also has a little bit of essential oils in it for immunity boost, because we all need our immune systems to be working really well right now. But it is in this really cool mug that I got from the Lost Appalachia Trading Company. The Lost Appalachia Trading Company, which is, I believe, in the Fayetteville area. I ordered it online, trying to support a local business, but nice black tea with some honey and On Guard in a mug from the Lost Appalachia Trading Post. And our first 2 apprentices to present today, we're going to go in this order. We're going to meet Mary Korn, and then we're going to meet Ashton Nardella. So we're going to go in that order, and I'm starting with them because they are our new apprentices, and this is their first year in the troupe, and so this is their first time being a part of this. So Mary, help yourself. The floor is yours. You may take it away.
Hello. My name is Mary Korn. This is obviously, like Jason said, this is my first year doing this, so I haven't had any previous experience, but I have my tea in this. It's a little teacup, just herbal tea with some honey in it. And I have Sonnet 27. Weary with toil, I haste me to my bed. The dear repose for limbs with travel tired. But then begins a journey in my head to work my mind when body's works expired. For then my thoughts from far where I abide intend a zealous pilgrimage to thee, and keep my drooping eyelids open wide, looking on darkness which the blind do see, save that my soul's imaginary sight presents thy shadow to my sightless view, which like a jewel hung in ghastly night makes black night beauteous and her old face new. Lo, thus by day my limbs, by night my mind, for thee and for myself no quiet find. Thank you.
So I forgot to tell you, but the proper response to a sonnet reading or poetry reading is snaps. So whenever somebody gets done, we'll give them snaps, and we give snaps to you, Mary, for that. And I also forgot to tell you that the way the apprentices chose their poems is it's the date of their birth, not the month. I don't want to give all that away, but the date of their birth is how we pick the poems for the apprentices. Sorry for that. And Ashton, the floor is yours, sir.
Hey. Yeah, hello there. My name is Ashton Ardella. As you can see, this is my teacup right here. It's a Disney teacup. I'm actually not drinking any tea. I actually hate tea with a passion. I know that's very offensive to most of you guys, probably. Yeah, so I'm actually just drinking water out of this. And yeah, it's pretty good. I'm actually starting to run out. But yeah, my sonnet is Sonnet 15, and I'll perform it for you right now. When I consider everything that grows, holds in perfection but a little moment, that this huge stage presenteth not but shows, whereon the stars in secret influence comment, when I perceive that men as plants increase, cheered and checked even by the self-same sky, vaunt in their youthful sap at height decrease, and wear their brave state out of memory. And then the conceit of this inconstant stay sets you most rich in youth before my sight, where wasteful time debateth with decay to change your day of youth to solid night, and all in war with time for love of you. As he takes from you, I engraft you new.
Snaps to you, Ashton. Wonderful job. Okay, so those are our new apprentices that are brand new to our troupe this year, and so who have just started in this fall session, and we're happy to have them and very excited to see what their progression is into the winter and the spring session. We have 3 apprentices that we're going to hear from next who are returning to the troupe, and I'm going to ask them to talk. They will talk a little bit about what they've done with the troupe previously and how long they've been a part of it. But we're going to hear from Morgan Sprouse, and then we're going to hear from Loki Hall, and finally in this group we're going to hear from Hannah Gawardi. So these are our returning apprentices, and Morgan, we'll start with you, and the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Morgan. This is my second year as an apprentice. The roles I've played, we were doing Comedy of Errors last year, and I was going to play the Abbess and the Courtesan, and it was a really good experience, and I'm glad I'm back. This is my cup. It has coffee in it because I'm like Ashton, I really, really don't like tea. And it's from the Sands Theater in DeLand, Florida. My sonnet is Sonnet 25. Let those who are in favor with their stars of public honor and proud titles boast, whilst I, whom fortune of such triumph bars, unlooked for joy in that I honor most. Great princes' favorites their fair leaves spread, but as the marigold at the sun's eye, and in themselves their pride lies buried, for at a frown they in their glory die. The painful warrior famous for fight, after 1,000 victories once foiled, is from the book of honor razed quite, and all the rest forgot for which he toiled. then happy I that love and am beloved, where I may not be removed nor be removed. Thank you.
Snaps to you, Morgan, and thank you. I think, and I will be happy to learn this from you as the years pass, Ashton and Morgan. I'm anxious to see if you develop a taste for tea. My wife is here with me, and she said, you just haven't found the right tea yet. And so perhaps part of our education this year will be exposing you to some different types of tea. Okay, Loki, it is your turn, my friend.
Hi, I'm Loki. This is my third year with the troupe. I'm really excited about that. The first year I played Borachio in Much Ado About Nothing. The second year we were going to do Comedy of Errors, but because of the pandemic, I ended up doing a Caliban monologue for the Shakespeare Salon, and this is my mug. It's kind of hard to read because it has text and it's backwards, but it says, ask me about my play. This is the family theater mug. You get to have rights to this mug when you're in a show. And my sonnet is sonnet number 10. For shame deny that thou bear'st love to any, who for thyself are so unprovident. Grant, if thou wilt, thou art beloved of many, but that thou none lovest is most evident. For thou art so possessed with murderous hate, that 'gainst thyself thou stick'st not to conspire, seeking that beauteous roof to ruinate, which to repair should be thy chief.
Now, Loki, you are frozen on my screen. Is that the case for everybody else? All right, so maybe we will let Loki work that out. It is raining and windy, and I was afraid that could happen on Zoom. We'll let Loki work that out, and then we will definitely come back to him if he's able to rejoin us. Cool. So next up is Hannah Gawardi, and Hannah is with us, and she is also a returning apprentice. So Hannah, we will turn the floor over to you as we wait for Loki's return.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, my name is Hannah, and I've been in the Apprentice Troupe for 4 years. My first show was A Midsummer's Night Dream, where I played Peas, Blossom, and Snout. And then we did Much Ado About Nothing, where I played Conrad. And then we were going to do Comedy of Errors, where I would play Angelo, but then COVID. So then I did a monologue from Twelfth Night. The tea I am drinking is kind of like Ashton and Jennifer. I hate tea, but I like iced tea, so I just don't like it hot, so I'm drinking it out of a dog mug. And then I'm doing sonnet 28. Sip of tea before we start. How can then I return in happy plight, that I am debarred the benefit of rest? When day's oppression is not eased by night, but day by night and night by day oppressed, and each, though enemies to either's reign, do in consent shake hands to torment me. The one by toil, the other to complain how far I toil, so farther off from thee. I tell the day to please him thou art bright, and doth him grace when clouds do blot the heaven. So flatter I the sword complexioned night, when sparkling stars twile not gild us the even. But day doth daily draw my sorrows longer, and night doth nightly make green's length seem stronger. Thank you.
Snaps for you, Hannah. Thank you very much. And Hannah has made the compromise with us. See, Ashton and Morgan. Hannah has compromised with us with iced tea. And so at least that's something. All right. I know that Loki is working on getting back to us, and so we will we will hear from Loki before we finish here today. But the next two apprentices, and these are the last two that you have to meet, are Wesley Cotter and Ben Long. And I've saved Wesley and Ben for the end because Wesley and Ben are our two seniors this year. And they have been with us since the very beginning. And this will be their last season with the Apprentice Troupe. And so I put them at the end. And we will go in that order. We will go Wesley, and then we will go Ben. So Mr. Cotter, it's all yours.
All right, how we all doing? So I am like Ashton, Morgan, and everybody else who doesn't like tea. I mean, I'm okay with tea, but I do like coffee. And I am drinking out of my office mug. This is Dwight Schrute. And it's from one of my favorite episodes. So if you see this man, please contact Dwight Schrute, and says this man is a pervert. And it is a face of Dwight Schrute. So this is my favorite mug, and I got some coffee in it. So I have, like Jason said, I've been involved with the Apprentice Troupe since my freshman year, and I've played Peter Quince in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and then I played Claudio in Much Ado About Nothing. And then I was also supposed to play the Dromio of Syracuse in The Comedy of Errors, but COVID. So I did perform a monologue in our little recital that we had at the end of the year last year, though. And I will be performing Sonnet 8, so here we go. Music to hear, why hear'st thou music sadly? Sweets with sweets war not. Joy delights in joy. Why lov'st thou that which thou receivest not gladly, or else receiv'st with pleasure thine annoy? If the true concord of well-tuned sounds, by unions married, do offend thine ear, they do but sweetly chide thee who confounds in singleness the part that thou shouldst bear. Mark how one string, sweet husband to another, strikes each and each by mutual ordering, resembling sire and child and happy mother, who all in one pleasing note do sing, whose speechless song, being many, seeming one, sings this to thee: thou single wilt prove none. Thank you.
Thank you, Loki. Or I'm sorry, Loki is back. That's where that was. But thank you very much, Wes. And you might win Mug of the Day on that one. That's that's a fun mug. Okay, so Ben, our other senior, Ben Long. Ben, you're up next. We'll give you the Zoom floor.
Hello, I am Ben Long. Like Wesley, this is my fourth year with the Apprentices. My freshman year, we did Midsummer Night's Dream, like everyone else said. I played Lysander. We did, why am I blanking on my sophomore show? Oh, what was it? Why am I blanking? Anyway, I was Don John. Yes, Much Ado. I was Don John. Last year, since we did the monologues, I did a monologue from 12th Night, the If Music Be the Food of Love play on monologue. And this year we're doing Hamlet, so I'm very excited about that. I was very self-conscious about the fact that I'm not drinking tea, but then I realized that every other kid in this troupe also hates tea. So thank God. I'm drinking out of my Shakespeare mug. I figured it was fitting for the occasion. And I'm not drinking tea either. So yeah. The monologue that I am doing is it's Sonnet 26. So, Lord of my love, to whom in vassalage thy merit hath my duty strongly knit. To thee I send this written embassage, to witness duty, not to show my wit. Duty so great with wit so poor as mine may make seem bare and wanting words to show it. But that I hope some good conceit of thine in thy soul's thought all naked will bestow it. Till whatsoever star that guides my moving points on me graciously with fair aspect, and puts apparel on my tattered loving, to show me worthy of thy sweet respect. Then may I dare to boast how I do love thee. Till then, not show my head where thou mayst prove me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Did you guys notice that Ben didn't tell us what he was drinking? He called it his Shakespeare mug, but he just said this is not tea. So I don't know, Dave, Sue, if you need to check on that for Ben's mystery beverage today. You know, the other option is there's just nothing in it. He just has a prop mug because I asked them to have mugs. Okay, is Loki back? Do we have a Loki back with us?
Yes. I'm so sorry. I started and the rain picked up and it knocked out the power. For a couple
So obviously
minutes.
you need to apologize for the rain and the power going out because that's all your fault, of course. All right, Loki, we'll give you the floor again and you can give us your sonnet once more from the beginning, please.
Should I do the whole introduction or just the sonnet?
Just the sonnet, probably.
Okay. For shame deny that thou best love to any, who for thyself are so unprovident. Grant, if thou wilt, thou art beloved of many, but that thou none lovest is most evident. For thou art so possessed with murderous hate, that 'gainst thyself thou stickst not to conspire, seeking that beauteous roof to ruinate, which to repair should be thy chief desire. Oh, change thy thought, that I might change my mind. Shall hate be fairer loved than lodged than gentle love? Be as thy presence is, gracious and kind, or to thyself at least kind-hearted prove. Make thee another self, for love of me, that beauty may still live on in thine or thee.
Thank you, Loki, so much. So there you have it, folks. You have met our 2020-2021 Apprentice Troupe. Mary Korn, Ashton Nardella, Morgan Sprouse, Loki Hall, Hannah Gawardi, Wesley Cotter, and Ben Long. So can we all have snaps for all of our apprentices now and welcome them to their troupe and the troupe and the introduction? I will open it up to anyone who has joined us who perhaps would like to tell us about their cup, their mug, their love of tea, or not, I guess. We could get into that debate. Or anyone who would like to share a sonnet that brought their own sonnet with them. Are there any brave souls out there who want to be a part of this conversation with us today?
I mean, I'm assuming that everybody else is dying to know what the proper method is to discover that one tea that's really going to rope us all in. I mean,
Well,
how do we find? Is there like some sort of mythical journey that we have to go on to achieve that, or I'm just wondering what the steps are that we need to take to get there.
I think learning to like things like tea is the same as learning to like things like food and drink. You just try tea until you know you like it. But I like tea because it's warm and it's not coffee. It's interesting that I'm a non-coffee drinker because I don't like the way my mouth tastes after coffee, and that doesn't happen with me and tea. So try tea, drink tea, go to places that serve tea and drink it.
I forgot to mention that I do actually have tea. I have sweet and spicy spiced green tea. But I forgot to mention that.
I just wanted to say, great job, everybody. Snaps to everyone. And as for the finding your own kind of tea, it really just sort of depends on, your own kind of taste. But remember that not all tea is like black tea or green tea. There are herbal teas that have fun flavors, and there's red tea. Yes, Rhapsody. Rooibos is where it comes from, and it's a much sweeter tea, so you don't need any of the extra stuff.
It is so interesting to me that this afternoon about Shakespeare's sonnets has become, thank you, Ben, for taking this right turn for us, and now we're talking about all the great types of tea that are out there. Is there anyone that would like to talk about tea or would like to share a sonnet?
I have a cup of Dollywood, my Dollywood mug, which is a prized possession. Oh no, I'm lagging.
Hey, Jason.
Yes,
This is Jared. Well, I can share a sonnet, and I was challenged to do this a couple of weeks ago by Morgan and Wesley, because I told them my favorite sonnet, and they said you should bring that to the sonnet tea. I do have a cool mug, and this was made by my cousin Hannah Linhart, who's a professional potter. Is that what you call someone who makes cups? And there's nothing in it. I just went and grabbed it because I wanted to. It's the coolest mug in the house. But this is my sonnet, and I have it memorized, and it's sonnet 50, and that's because I was born on July 50th. And I memorized this sonnet because I like the couplet at the end, and it's sad. How heavy do I journey on my way, when what I seek, my weary travels end, doth teach that ease and that repose to say, thus far the miles are measured from thy friend. The beast that bears me, heavy with thy woe, plods duly on to bear that weight in me, as if by some instinct the wretch did know, his rider, love not speed, being made from thee. That same groan doth put this in mind, my grief flies onward, and my joy behind.
That was lovely, Jared. Thank you for sharing, and that mug was equally as beautiful. Is there anyone else who would like to share a mug or a sonnet with us today? Excellent. Then I can wrap us up. I want to say just one more time how much I appreciate you on this rainy, windy evening or afternoon joining us for a cup of tea and allowing our apprentices to share out a sonnet with you and introduce themselves to the world. And actually what's interesting is because we have been rehearsing individually with Zoom, this is really the first time for some of these apprentices that they have seen the other apprentices. We haven't done anything collectively as a group yet, and so this was the beginning of that. From here, our apprentice troupe, like I said, we're going to do some more individual stuff, and then after Thanksgiving, we're going to start meeting in small groups, and we're going to start rehearsing on Zoom the version of Hamlet that we will be hopefully presenting. Well, we will be presenting one way or another, that we will be presenting at the end of this year. And it is a 7-person Hamlet. It is an abridged and adapted Hamlet. So these apprentices are going to be especially challenged by the work that lies ahead. But we'll spend the winter doing this scene work on Zoom. And our goal is in February to have another Zoom event like this, but instead of it being individual sonnets, we're going to do a Zoom reading of our Hamlet in February once we get done with those rehearsals. So that's going to be really exciting. I am going to put a link in the chat right now for everyone. This is the PayPal link that was in the event. Obviously, this afternoon of tea is totally free, but if you would like to make a donation to VTC to go towards the work of this apprentice troupe, you're obviously welcome to do that. You can do it at that PayPal link, or you can find it in the Facebook event. But I am very grateful for this opportunity, even though this COVID pandemic has shut down so much for us for these 8 months. I am grateful for the opportunity to work with these incredible students who are giving of their time and their talents to sort of edify me in the work as they continue to try and grow as artists. And so I'm really happy to see that there are students out there who are trying to still overcome all of this and grow as artists, and that's really important. And this afternoon was an important part of that step for them. So with that, I say congratulations to them. Thank you for completing your first session. Onward to a wonderful winter session filled with Hamlet work. And to everyone who is not an apprentice, thank you for joining us. I hope your tea was delicious. I hope the sonnets edified your souls. And please have a wonderful rest of your Sunday afternoon. Bye-bye.